Okay, so I have started recording and let me give a background. Hey everyone, today in this video recording we are going to meet with Mr. Franz from Sellics, and he has this nice tool, and let's welcome Franz and talk to him. Hey Franz, how are you doing?
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me on the show, pretty much. So I'm Franz from Sellics. Sellics, I hope some of you know it already, is an Amazon optimization tool or an Amazon all-in-one tool. We started actually 2.5 years ago, so we're quite old in this industry. And we've actually been one of the very first Amazon SEO tools out there. So right when this trend of private labeling started, we were one of the very first tools. Today we evolved into more than just SEO and ranking optimization. Today we really cover everything that you need as a seller to be successful on Amazon. And this is from ranking optimization over review monitoring to profit analysis, also PPC management. So pretty much everything that you need as a seller, everything that you encounter on a daily basis or on a regular basis, we have this covered here in Sellics. In fact, most of our users, once they start using Sellics, they stop using Seller Central. So we replace large parts of Seller Central for them.
That's a great news.
Yeah. Yeah, they spend half the day in our tool tracking their profits. So that's pretty much what a lot of our sellers do. Let me just get started. I don't want to show the entire tool. I think that would be too time consuming, but to give you an idea of what you can expect once you use Sellics. And then in any case, we have a nice bonus for your members, which we're going to talk about at the end. So you're definitely going to have the opportunity to give it a try. So I encourage you to check it out afterwards. But let's get started here in Sellics. So the starting point in Sellics right after you log in is the cockpit. This is where we are right now, right? The idea of the cockpit is to give you a complete overview of your entire Amazon business on one single page, right? So that at one glance you can see exactly if you need to react or if everything is going like you want. So the cockpit consists of different widgets. You can see them here. So those boxes, each box pretty much summarizes one part of your Amazon business. Sales and profits, obviously the most important thing as an Amazon seller is the very first widget. So you can see sales and profits for the last 30 days on a daily basis, and you can see exactly if there's a trend happening. So for instance, here in this demo account, you can see that sales have been plummeting here a few days ago, and since then stabilized on a very low level. So this is definitely something that we will investigate further. But so you have a summary here of your sales and obviously also your profits. We have a performance table next that summarizes again sales, margin, profits, units and orders, as well as promos for different time frames, right? So for today, yesterday, 7 days, 15 days, and 30 days. What I like a lot is, looking at the margin here, seeing how the margins evolve over time, because then you can see if there's some trend, if your margin is increasing or if it's decreasing. Then finally,
just a quick question on the promos tab. The last one, is it the promo sales, the discounted coupon sales?
Exactly. So those are the units that have been sold through coupon codes, right? So if it says one unit, and it means that yesterday you sold 47 units, and out of those 47 units, 1 unit was actually reduced to a coupon code, right? So that's so you can see exactly. I know that there's still a lot of sellers using coupon codes, right? So I think this is very important to just keep track of how many coupon codes have been redeemed at what point in time.
Yes. Okay, let's keep going.
So the next widget is the review widget. Obviously, reviews are crucial on Amazon, and you want to keep track of your new reviews. So what we show you here in the cockpit is essentially all the new product reviews that you've received over the last 7 days. So you can see you received 2-star and 3-star reviews, but also a bunch of 4- and 5-star reviews. So you have your reviews right here as well. Then you got your keyword ranking index, which essentially is summarizing your organic visibility, right? So your organic rankings, essentially if the index is increasing, then it means that the overall visibility is improving, right? So you've been your products are ranking higher for some keywords, right? And if it's going down, essentially it means that you've lost some visibility. You can see there's quite some fluctuation in it, quite some changes going up and down, but overall, what's important is the trend. And then finally, PPC, obviously, pay-per-click, Amazon sponsored products. I know that pretty much every seller uses it. I know that at least of our users, 98% use sponsored products to advertise their products. And so here you have a summary of your clicks and the ad spend that you had for sponsored products. And again, here you can see there's been some quite significant changes here a few days ago when they went essentially down to zero. So
okay,
you can see
cool.
right here on the first glance, you can see exactly sales have been dropping here, and you can also see that PPC have been the PPC spend have been reduced. So maybe there's some connection here, and maybe you should investigate this entire issue. And then finally, when you then scroll down even a bit further, you'll have a list of all your products that you're selling, and all of this is actually pre-populated for you. So there's no need to set this up, right? So all the products will be populated for you out of your Seller Central account. So you have all your products, including a sales trend for the last 30 days, right? So you can see exactly if it's going up or if it's going down. The total sales for the last 30 days, as well as the revenue share, because I'm sure, you know a lot of sellers, right? And most of the sellers actually have like one or two very strong products, and then quite a few products that are not selling so well. So typically, there are 20% of the products generating 80% of the sales. And here with the revenue share, you can focus on those products that actually, drive most of your revenues. Also, the current sales.
Just a quick question. How do you calculate that 41%? Is there a setting screen where we input our sourcing cost, shipping cost, and everything?
No, so this is just revenue, right? So this is just the sales essentially. So all the products that you've sold. So here in this case, you've sold $16,000 of this product, and so we just divide this number by your overall sales for the last 30 days, right?
Okay, got it. Okay.
So
to find out the winning product or which product is selling more and giving us more money. Okay, got it.
Exactly. That's the point. So because obviously, here in this case you have 54 products, but one of those products is generating 41% of all your sales, right? So this is obviously a very important product. So you want to make sure that this product, maybe gets a special treatment. So focus more on the reviews, look out for prices for competitors, right? So obviously this product is a lot more important than, you might have other products here where you make like $4 a month, then, this is not too important, right? So, yeah, but essentially, yes. So that's that's the cockpit, right? So again, the idea of the cockpit is to give you the overview of your account, kind of the bird's eye view, the strategic view, to decide if everything is on track or if you need to take action. And starting from this cockpit now, you can drill deeper into the different areas, right? So let's say here in this case, you got some negative reviews. Obviously, the next step would be to look at those reviews and, like a comment on them, or, whatever the process is. So you just click on this widget. You can see there's a button here saying view all reviews. So you just click on this button here, and it will take you directly to the review management feature here in Sellics.
Okay.
And there you'll then find all the reviews and all the information for those reviews. So you can filter for, let's say you just want to see the negative reviews. Then you just filter for the negative reviews, and then you'll see the entire review right here in your Sellics account, right? So you can see you have a 2-star review that got left on February 20. That's a product that got reviewed, and this is essentially what the reviewer said, right? So 2 stars. This thing didn't even last a month. I broke on me today, right?
Okay.
So that's essentially the entire review. And now the great thing is that you can comment here on this review right out of Sellics, right? So you just click here on this button, comment on Amazon, and it will take you directly to this review, right? Where you can then leave a comment and say, I don't know, I'm sorry, whatever your follow-up is, right? But I strongly encourage you to leave a comment at least to show also, to potential future customers that you're taking care of things, if something is actually not working anymore. So that's really convenient, right? And the great thing is that once you've commented, you can actually set this review to done, and then it will disappear here from this list, right? So you just click here, set to done, and then it's pretty much like a to-do list. The review is disappearing from the list, and it's been taken care of. So there's no need to have it in your list, and you can work through this list of reviews essentially like a to-do list. I don't know if that makes sense, but
okay. And what is that add note? There is an option called add note. Is it for our own purpose? There is a little blue color. Yes.
Exactly. So the note is essentially if you want to keep an internal note, right? So if you for yourself you want to just have a reminder, for instance, send him a new product, right? So you could leave this note here internally for you, so that if there's a follow-up required, you can just take an internal note. But this is just for you. This is not visible on Amazon. This is just for you here in Sellics. If you'd like to have a note, you can just add this here.
Okay, cool. And there is an impact column, and it says minus 0.01, right? Can you just quickly explain that?
Yeah, so sure. The impact essentially shows you how your average rating got affected by this new review, right? So this 2-star review lowered your overall average rating by 0.01, right? So it's a very small impact, obviously, because you have a lot of reviews, right? But the idea is that you can sort very easily by review here, by impact, and then you can focus on those reviews that actually have the strongest impact. So this is just for you to have an information of how negative this review actually really is.
Oh, okay. That's a cool option.
So it's just a small things, but it makes things a lot easier, especially if you tend to have a lot of reviews. If you get tens or hundreds of reviews a day, you wanna focus on the ones that actually really cause the most damage, and so you can do this very easily here by just focusing on the impact.
Yeah, good. So basically, the cockpit is more of giving the bird's eye view. When you wake up in the morning, instead of logging into Seller Central, just log into Sellics, and you get everything, right?
Exactly. That's pretty much the idea, right? So the bird's eye view is here in the cockpit, so we just look at review. We can drill down deeper on sales and profit as well, right? So here you have the sales and profit widget. Again, you click on the widget to see the details, and then it will take you to the profit management feature here in Sellics. And there you then find more information about your profit, because essentially what we do in Sellics is we show you exactly how much money you make after deducting all the fees, right? After deducting everything that you pay, we show you exactly how much money is left. So here, obviously, a summary of your total sales, right? So this is for yesterday, $538 in sales. Now, the interesting thing is that when you hover over this column here, we don't just show you how much sales you've generated, but also how you generated those sales, right? So we differentiate between organic sales. Obviously, those are the sales that come through organic rankings. PPC sales, right? So if you so those are sales generated through sponsored products, and then also shipping sales. So those are essentially the sales if you do fulfillment by merchant. So I guess not too many sellers do it, but for those who do, they might charge their customers for shipping. So those shipping charges that they charge their customers are actually recognized here in the sales as well. So you can see exactly where or how you generate your money. And then same goes for the cost column. If you actually hover over the cost column, you see exactly how you spend your money on and what you spend your money on, right? So you have your FBA fees, your Amazon fees, your PPC costs, your promo value. So if you hand out any coupons. And then finally, also your shipping costs and your cost of goods, right? So this is really important, obviously, cost of goods to include them here in the calculation as well. And then based on that, we'll calculate the overall profit and the margin, and then so that you know pretty much how much profit you make, right? And then finally, so the great thing here is that actually all of this is done fully automatically. You only need to connect your Seller Central account, Sellics, and then we will do this for you. So we'll split the revenues, we split the costs, so we calculate the profit. Everything is It's fully automated. Actually, it's updated every 5 minutes, so you can follow your profits live throughout the day, right? Which is what a lot of users are doing. And then when the only thing essentially you need to set up is you need to enter the cost of goods, because those are obviously costs that we cannot find inside of Central. So all you need to do is you go down here to the tab My Costs, and there you can you see this table here, cost of goods and shipping costs, and essentially you can just enter your cost of goods here into this table, and then they will be taken into account when in this calculation, right? So it's very easy. It's very easy to set up. It's very, very convenient. Obviously, it's not mandatory to enter cost of goods. It would just make your overall calculation more precise, right? And then, so the other thing that a lot of our users enjoy a lot is that you actually have a real overview on a product level, right? So you don't just have your total profit, but you can even see for every single product that you're selling how much sales you've generated, how many units, the promos that have been redeemed, the profit, and finally also the margin. And now what's interesting is that sometimes, let's see here in this demo, no, there isn't, but sometimes, we see products with a negative margin, and that's obviously very important to know for the seller if he's losing money on every sale he makes, right?
Yes.
So,
if you personally ask me, Amazon is all about the data, right? If you don't know your numbers, then you're screwed, right?
Exactly. Well said. It's probably one of the big success drivers for Amazon is that they themselves internally, they're very data driven. They look at data for every decision they make. And I think it would be very smart and very wise if you as a seller, you do it as well, then, you don't have this subjective feeling, or those subjective decisions that you make all the time. So it's very great, but it's, what I think is always, it's important to work with the numbers, but you shouldn't waste your time gathering the numbers, right? Which is why, we put a lot of effort here into Sellics to make it as easy as possible for you to actually access those numbers and work with the numbers instead of spending your time gathering those numbers through Excel reports from Seller Central and then processing them and so on. So that's the thing, right? And so again, the great thing here, so it's. If we look at the details, we also integrate the promos and also the product level, right? So we attribute every dollar that you spend on advertisement to at least one product, so that you can really see the true profit after deducting promos, Amazon fees, PPC costs, everything.
Okay, that's great. So they have to just enter once the My Costs tab, so they will see all the products. They just has to enter once, and Sellics takes care of the rest, right?
Exactly. That's exactly right. So that you need to set this up once here, and actually there's an upload coming. So in 2 or 3 days you'll be able to actually upload all your costs. So if you have a lot of SKUs, then it will still be very easy to upload the numbers here. So I would say there's no setup cost pretty much involved here.
I got it. And is there a limit saying like in this you can enter only 50 products or 100 products, or it's
no, there's no limit. So for every account that we hand out, so you will see all your products here, no matter how many products you have, and you'll be able to enter all the costs. So there is no limit.
That's cool. Okay.
Okay, cool. So let's go back to the cockpit. I'm just going to show the PPC widget because I know that sponsored products are really important. So as a last widget, probably I'll just show the sponsored products. So if we click here on again on the widget, so obviously, right, if you log in and you see something like this, then this should raise some questions with you, unless you decided yourself that you want to shut down sponsored products. If you didn't decide to shut them down, then you definitely want to have a look if you see something like that, right? So you just click on See Details, and again, it will take you to the feature here in Sellics. We call this the PPC Manager. And so here in the PPC Manager, you'll actually see the entire performance of your sponsored price campaigns, right? And you'll be able to manage and optimize your sponsored price campaigns right out of Sellics. And again, the beautiful thing is that it's fully integrated with Seller Central. So there's no need to make any downloads or uploads. There's no need to do anything manually. Everything is populated directly from Amazon through the Seller Central API and is updated on a daily basis. So there's no need to download any search term reports or whatever.
So no more search term report. No more boring search term reports.
No more, never ever search term reports. Never ever Excel also. So
okay,
it's very convenient. So obviously you have all the numbers right here. You have revenues, spend, the average cost of advertising cost of sales, cost per clicks. You also have impressions, click-through rate, clicks, and conversion rate. So those are the numbers for the entire account, right? And in fact, you'll also be able to look here on the right side at the trend, right? So you can see exactly revenue over cost or revenue over impressions, right? So you have this side-by-side comparison where you can see exactly how the numbers develop. Personally, I think the most interesting part in the PPC manager is when you scroll down a bit, you'll actually find a list of all your campaigns, right? So all the campaigns that you're currently running, again, including all those numbers that we just looked at before, right? So cost, revenue, profit, impressions, click-through rate, clicks, conversion rate. So you have all the numbers that you find in the reports. You have them right here in Sellics. And so now very easily, let's say that, a typical strategy is to have this auto campaign and a manual campaign at the same time, and then you copy the best performing search terms from the auto campaign into a manual campaign, right? This is probably the most common strategy. And today you would do this by downloading the search term report from Seller Central and then processing the data in Excel and then, spending time in Excel pretty much.
That's one of the time-consuming process for me personally.
Yeah. Well, this will be over soon. I'll hook you up with a Sellics account, and then you'll see. It will save you a lot of time. So essentially, the only thing that you need to do, you can see here, there's this little icon here, indicating that this is an auto campaign. So you just click on this auto campaign, and then again you click. So then you'll see all the ad groups, right? So again, you click on the ad group that you want to have. So in this case, there's only one ad group. And then you'll see all the keywords. Now, obviously, this is an auto campaign, so there are no keywords, but there are only search terms. So all you need to do is you just click here on this tab, search terms. And again, it will show you all the search terms of this auto campaign, including all those numbers here, right? You can, by the way, you can change the time period, or you can set it individually, so it's really on a day-by-day basis, and you can look at very individual time frames. And now, once you have this list of search terms, right? So here you have 98 search terms. You probably don't want to go through all of them manually. So all you need to do here is you use the filters here on the left side. You can see this green button. If you hover over this button, you have the filters opening, and now you can just set the criteria that you want. I don't know, if you have any special, typical criteria, you can just let me know. Otherwise, I just say, I want to have those search terms that had at least 1,000 impressions, right? Or I want to have those that have 1,000 impressions, but also at least one click, right? And then you just add those criteria here, and then all the search terms here that are fit all the criteria that you set here in the filter. Okay. So that's really convenient to come up with a list of search terms that are actually matching your criteria. And those could be all sorts of criteria. I know that everyone has a different strategy and is looking at different metrics to determine whether this is actually a good search term or a bad search term or what to do essentially. So the great thing here is it's very flexible, so you can sort by any of the metrics, and you can filter by any of them, right? And then finally, once you've done, all you need to do is you need to go through the list of remaining search terms, and you just click on this button here on the right side for the search terms that you wanna copy, right? So you click here on soap molds, resin molds, and so on, and then you'll see there's a little clipboard here on the left side, and then by clicking on the button, essentially what you do is you add those search terms into the clipboard here, and from there you can just copy the content of the clipboard and go to Seller Central, and actually it will take you directly to Seller Central to this campaign, and then you can just log in and then paste the search terms into the
existing manual campaign.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Okay.
So it's really convenient. I think the workflow here is very straightforward, but makes life a lot easier.
Yeah. And do you have an option of selecting all the keyword at once? I mean, I see in the top there is a button. So
yeah, absolutely. So you can just go here, you click all of them, and then obviously they're all copied here into this one. So that's you can just set your filter, and then you copy all of them, and then it's you're ready to go.
Good. So basically, you are making sellers' life easy, so they can just focus on sales, and Sellics takes care of everything in the background.
Exactly. That's the thing. So it's really our goal is to reduce the time that you spend on on just gathering different things and really focusing on the decision making process. So that you have all the data at one place, and then you can really decide on what to do and how to proceed.
Got it. Good. And just a quick question: is Sellics supports all the marketplace, or is it currently strictly to US?
So right now it is supporting different marketplaces, unfortunately through different systems. So Sellics.com is actually working for Amazon.com. If you're in the UK, I know a lot of people in your groups are using the UK marketplace. Then you would need to go to sellics.co.uk, and then you will need to sign up there. We are working on the process, or we are working on integrating all the marketplaces into one software. So you can expect that in a few weeks you'll be able to just switch between the different marketplaces. As of today, unfortunately, you will need to go to the dedicated marketplaces. You can already see with some of the features that it already works internationally, right? So here in the profit feature, if you were selling internationally, you could change here you can hover over the different the flag here and then choose the marketplace. But it will take us a few more weeks, and then you'll have a drop down here at the top, and then you'll be able to jump between the different marketplaces.
Okay, good. And I see a couple of options on the top of the page. So what are those? It says something like spy tool or something.
So essentially, this is those are the different options, right? So you have rankings here, you have the review feature, you have the spy. So the spy, I think, is I guess it is a way where you can track the actual sales level based on the 999 method, right?
Okay.
So we're going for the inventory. So this is integrated here as well. We also have a inventory management feature, right? So that tells you exactly when you need to reorder not to run out of stock, right? So let me just show you very briefly. Like I said at the beginning, I think there's too much to see if we only have like 20 minutes or so. But essentially the way it's working, right? So all your products will be listed up here. You'll see your current stock level, your current sales velocity, so how many units you're selling per day, and then based on this, an estimated out of stock date, right? So you'll see exactly in how many days you run out of stock. Then you can enter a lead time here. So this is the time that it takes for you to reorder a product. So by default it's set to 30 days, and then it will tell you exactly when you need to reorder, right? So here you can see an example. If you have 48 days left of inventory, right, and you need 30 days to replenish, then you should reorder at the latest in 18 days, right? And then so that's essentially the way it works. I think it's very straightforward, but this is something that we see a lot, especially with new sellers. So new sellers, they focus a lot on their sales, and they tend to forget to reorder from time to time. And if you get a negative review, that's always very annoying, right? But the negative review maybe will decrease your sales by 1%, 5%, maybe 10% or 20%, but you're likely still going to make some sales. If you run out of stock, you won't make any sales at all for the time that it takes to replenish. And if it takes like 60 days to go back in stock, you're actually losing 2 months worth of sales and profits. And for some sellers, this is actually quite an important problem, right? So
good. And what I like in this what I like in this portal is there is a indication, say like red color, green, and orange, right? In the reorder tab,
Yes.
that's really good, right?
Exactly. So, I mean, we have, you can see it up here, essentially. This is kind of your pipeline, right? So
Okay.
this shows you the number of products you need to reorder within the next 30 days. And you can see there are 14 products that need to be reordered within the next 30 days. You only have one product in the next 30 to 60 days and 0 products in the next 60 to 90 days. So you can see there's really, there's a lot of investment required right now. But once you've done that, then you'll be, on the safe side for the next, 60 days or so, right? So it's really like the pipeline, and you can see there's a lot going on here at the beginning. So you definitely need to reorder it at this point in time.
Good. I mean, it looks like Sellics has a lot more than Seller Central. I mean, whatever you said at the beginning of this webinar is about you don't need to log into Seller Central. So it looks like it's true.
Well, yeah, I mean, the typical way is that, people actually, they log in every morning, they wake up and they log in every morning, and they just check this page here, the cockpit, to see, how their business is doing. And then based on what they see, they decide whether they need to drill deeper and take action, or whether everything is fine and they just log out and then, do whatever they want to do. But it's, the convenience of only needing like 1 minute to understand whether you need to take action or not, is just massive. And so, our users love it. They love the cockpit here, and then essentially what they do is they log in multiple times to track their profits. And,
okay.
And
what are those last two options, plus and the other one? Is it a profit maximizer?
Sure. So we had the profit dashboard, the PPC manager. Here we have a performance tab, right? So the performance tab essentially is, unfortunately, it's not working now, but essentially what you can see here is the sessions and the conversion rates, and those are some very important numbers. And I think we're also the only tool that actually offers them in a way here. You can see it's not working right now because Amazon made some changes. Let me see if we go back in history. So there we'll see some data. So you can look at sessions. So the number of sessions that you had, right, in the past, and also the conversion rate. So this is the aggregated conversion rate and the sessions for your entire account. But if you scroll down, you actually see it on a product level, right? So you can see exactly how many sales you've received, how many sessions, and then obviously also a conversion rate on a product level. So this is, I think, is very, very powerful. It's very, very powerful.
Because as an Amazon seller, we need to focus more on the session and conversion rate, right? I mean, but the Sellics gives the overall view of what's your conversion rate, which is absolutely phenomenal.
Exactly. I mean, the important thing, what a lot of sellers do, a big part of being an Amazon seller is really working on your copy, right? So really understanding, how can you improve your copy? How can you improve your bullet points, your image, and so on to maximize conversion rate, right? And so obviously in order to do this, you will need to track your conversion rate. And so here's a very convenient way to do it. So that if we scroll down and we click on the button here on the right side for this product, we'll actually see, we'll get to a product dashboard. Now this is very deep inside the tool, right? But you'll actually see here for this product, right? You'll see sales, unit, profit, sessions, and conversion. And this is on a product level. And now you can look at sessions and conversion rates on the daily level, right? So you can see exactly here how conversion rates are developing over time. And now you can see that here, like 2 weeks ago, we had some issues to gather the data. But usually, you would see the data for the entire 30 days here. So you can see exactly if you're changing something, let's say on February 1st, you can see how this affects your conversion rates in the next couple of days and see if the conversion is higher than in January or if it's lower, right? So it's just, I think it's a very important, sessions and conversion rates are probably the most important metrics to look at.
Yes. Look good. And the last option, what is the last one?
So here for the plus, this is when it comes to product research, right? So the features that we looked at so far are, features that that are helpful if you're already selling on Amazon, right? So if you have some products. Now, if you go to a plus, we have two features like the product detector and the niche analyzer that essentially help you to research new products, right? So if you want to extend or if you want to get started, you actually have some product research features integrated here inside of Sellics. Now, the product detector essentially is a database. You can see currently there are 850,000 products in this database. Those are all Amazon products that you can use, and you can filter this database by different criteria. So let's say you want to go into home and kitchen, for instance, and you want to have a sales rate of 2,000 max or 2,500 max. Then you just apply this filter criteria, and then you'll see out of those 800,000, now we only have 2,402 products left. Now, what you can also see is that, out of the top 2,500 products, we actually have the top 2,400 in our database, right? So we have, we tend to have a lot of the top 10,000 products per category here in our database. And then, so you can just sort, filter by it. Obviously you can also add other filters up here, right? And then you'll find a list of all those products. And now you can just go through those products, and essentially the idea here is to get inspired about what's selling well and what might be a good idea for you to sell as well, right? So you can just hover over those images here and get an idea of what actually makes sense to sell, right? So the product detector is a way to come up with new product ideas, right? And then the niche analyzer is then finally a way to evaluate a niche, right? So let's say if we enter garlic press, probably the most common example.
It's a famous one among auto sellers.
Yes, pretty much, right? So you just you click analyze niche, and then essentially what we do is we go to Amazon, and then we get the data from the first page, and we'll show you some sales estimates and some reviews. So essentially you can understand how competitive it is and how if there's and you can get an idea of the revenue potential there is in that specific niche.
Got it. And how often this data gets refreshed from Amazon?
So the product detector gets updated every second or every 3 weeks, right? And so the niche analyzer is live. This is also why it takes some time, right? So the moment where you click here, analyze niche, will actually go to Amazon, crawl the data, and then show it here in this list. So you can see here for this product, those are the products. You can see the buy box price, the FBA fees, the category, the current sales rank, the sales per day. So those are obviously estimated sales per day based on the sales rank, the rating, and the review. And so one thing that I find very nice is that by clicking here on this button here on the right side, you'll actually add this product to the spy. The spy feature that we just saw before. So you just click here, it will be added to the spy, and then we will start to track the sales for you. So this is actually very convenient.
Oh, that's cool. And how many records it show on this page? Is it the first page sales or?
This is just the first page now. When you scroll down, you'll be able to here analyze next page, right? So you just click here, and then it will take you to the next page, and again it will load the results from the next page.
Okay, because as Amazon seller, and if you need to crush it on Amazon, your product should be on the first page, and this tool gives the exact idea about how depth the market is, right?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly the point.
Okay, good. And it's a real-time data from Amazon.
Yes, this is real time from Amazon. So whenever you push the button, then we will get the data for you.
Oh, okay, cool. And it shows the FBA sellers details as well. And to the last column, it says one FBA, one. Those are all merchants, right?
Yes, exactly. So this is the number of sellers, right? So you can see FBA means it's an FBA seller. Amazon means it's Amazon, right? So this is probably going to be a bit more difficult. And then finally, if you don't have anything, then it's an FBM seller. So someone fulfilling yourself. Obviously, the more FBA and the more Amazon you see, the tougher it gets for you, right? So if you have, it would be better if you only had FBM sellers, but today most of the sellers are actually using FBA, so there's only small chances that you'll actually find a niche where you can get a lot of products without FBA.
Very nice, and it also shows the sales per day, right? I mean, if I'm not wrong.
Exactly. So the estimated sales per day, this is this column here, so you can see exactly. So this is the estimated sales per day is based on the sales rank.
Sales rank. Okay. Cool.
So overall, I think and the thing is, we haven't even looked at all the features, right? So just a quick walkthrough. So what's important, I think, for your people as well is that the idea of Sellics is really to offer this all-in-one tool, this very comprehensive tool where you have all the features, everything that you need as a seller to run and optimize your Amazon business is integrated here into one software. And that's not just very convenient, because you don't have to log into multiple tools. It's also very powerful to have the information of profit and PPC integrated, right? So that the PPC costs are actually integrated in your profit calculation, but also that the profit calculation is integrated in your PPC manager, right? So those are, it's not just the convenience. I mean, the convenience is great to have it all in one place, but it's also the additional benefits and the additional insights that you get by combining the different features. So that's what's I think what's really important to take away here from this webinar.
That's cool. The cockpit is the one I'm still thrilled and stunned with how it shows all the data. So I'm
it took us quite some time to come up with a design where it's we actually have everything, but it's not overloaded. So I think this is okay, and it's actually, I think, is once you get used to it, you know exactly what to look at. It was quite actually, if you like the cockpit, it's customizable, right? So you can move the widgets around here. And remake your own cockpit, and you can also resize them. So if you're really into reviews, you can make a big review widget. Or if you're not running any PPC campaigns, right? Obviously, you can also delete this widget here and to make it a bit cleaner for you. You can again, it's just very flexible. So
You can drop. So you can add a widgets. Okay.
Yes. So those are the 5 widgets that we have right now. One widget that's in the making currently is the inventory widget. So you'll be able to see this inventory pipeline that we just saw before. You'll be able to see this right here as a widget as well, so that again, whenever you log in, you'll see exactly where if any products need to be reordered, and then through those widgets here on the left side, you can choose the widgets you want to see. And then essentially create your own custom dashboard in which you can log in every morning.
Yes. I mean, I'm not going to log into Seller Central anymore as soon as I get access to Sellics. So now I think it's been a very good 30-40 minutes, and thanks for your time. So now our members are waiting to know, so what are you going to offer for AMZ trainer people? So what can you do?
What I'd like to offer is a trial of 30 days where they can just use Sellics to the full extent and essentially give it a try for 30 days so they can really see how it benefits their business, how it helps them to make more money. And then at the end of the 30 days, obviously, if they want to upgrade, they're free to do so. Now, in order to get those to get access to this extended trial, all they need to do is they should just write us here. You can see once they log in on the right side here, there's this chat button, so they can just reach out to our support and tell them that they're part of your group, and then we will extend that trial for them, right? So all they need to do is they just go to sellics.com.
Okay.
Let me show you very quickly.
There they can. Can you just show us what are the different plans you have?
The different plans, sure. So we have 4 different plans, right? Starting at $50 a month, and it goes up to $400. Now you will see that all of those plans actually include all the features. So all the features, PPC manager, profit dashboard, everything is included. The only difference is the number of credits, right? So the credits can be used for two things in Sellics. So one thing is to monitor products. So if you want to monitor products in the SPY, for instance, you will need one credit for each product that you're monitoring. And then also if you want to monitor keywords, then you'll also need one credit to monitor one keyword, right? And now the advantage of the credits is that actually once you delete a keyword, so if a keyword is not interesting for you anymore, or if you delete a product from the SPY because it's not interesting for you anymore, then you can just delete the keyword, and the credit will be added back to your account, right? So it's not lost; it's just it's reserved for the keywords, and if you delete the keyword, then it will be added back to your account, right? So typically, if you're a small seller, the $50 plan is enough, right? And you can use it, use Sellics to the full extent. In any case, I just recommend to get started with the $50 plan, and then if you want to upgrade, you can just upgrade anytime, and the upgrade will be instant. So there's no need to decide which plan you want to choose. You just start with the smallest plan, and as you start using the credits, you can then upgrade to higher plans.
Okay, that's really cool. And so they can just go to Sellics.com and click on free 14 days plan, and then they have to chat
Exactly.
with your team.
So you go into Sellics.com, you click here, start 14-day free trial, you sign up for the free trial, and then once you've signed up, it will take you through a small setup process where you actually connect your Seller Central account, and then once this is done, you'll be here in the cockpit. And then here in the cockpit, they can just write us a message that they want to have the extended trial, and then we're just going to extend it for another 14 days.
That's great, and it's easy process to get the 30 days trial. So thank you so much for your time, Franz, and I'm going to email my team, and our members are going to love this tool. As soon as I put this cockpit screen, they're going to ask me that, hey, give me the trail. So it's really good, and thank you so much for your time, Franz.
Thank you. Bye-bye.